Initially, no. Initially, Inter crushed the opponents for sure. No doubt about it. But then the Rossoneri led the race between the two times, and Andanovic, who was the absolute protagonist with 3 amazing saves
in 70 seconds. Yeah. 3 saves in 70 seconds. Yeah.
They conserved the result and allowed also his teammates to inflict the definitive KO to AC Milan. So Andanovic was an absolute protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the gamers were once again Romelu Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez, one of the best couple at the international level that completes each other a little bit. 2 goals for the Argentina, 1 for the Belgian. But beyond the goals, they showed the whole world how to play the role of striker for the entire duration of the game. And I also liked other players who seemed in the January market to start, and who are now more and more important fixed points of Conte's team. And I refer to Ivan Perisic and Christian Eriksen, because the first one yesterday has literally dominated the left of the fields with the physical arrogance of the best times. In the second one, Eriksen has literally taken possess of the Inter's midfield, and he's leading it to very high levels.
I think what really struck me, and then I kind of wanted to ask Gav and Ruairi what they thought about it. And Andrea, man, what a great breakdown of the game.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So let's just go, like, it was a very exciting game. And I have to say that what really struck me was that, I don't know if you remember, a few weeks ago, some lazy fans started saying, but Eriksen and Brozovic cannot play together. I thought it was absurd. And yesterday, I think that showed it very well. Together, they did an incredible work. They completed each other. And if you look at Inter's second goal, Eriksen was in the defense when the play started.
The entire team.
And then a lot of AC Milan fans I heard today, they were saying Inter play on the counter. I don't think Inter necessarily play on counter-attack. No. But when we have a counterattack, we know how to exploit it very well. However, the second goal was not counterattack. That was built from the defense. It was Lukaku's goal is more like counterattack, quick counterattack. One man.
The second goal was created by a genius that for me it's called Christian Eriksen.
Yeah. The way he controls that ball, he stops it and then gives it perfectly to to Perisic, and then you have that cut by Lautaro in the middle. I mean, that stuff you don't teach it if you are football. A good striker.
Yeah, it's harmony, isn't it? And once your manager has got all 11 players playing on and reading from the same hymn sheet, things happen, and it's why Arsenal fans get so upset, because we went through years of seeing it work and then seeing it all unraveled over time, where players would come in and they weren't able to sing from that same hymn sheet that Senor Wenger was handing out along the pews to everybody at the congregation. So
that's a long metaphor.
It was one player I want to speak about in particular. From the Inter side of things, sorry, Andrea, is Nicola Barella, because I think he is wonderful, and I don't think enough people are talking about him.
Oh, in Italy they are. In Italy, everybody's talking about Barella.
Over here, you don't hear when you're talking about. When you talk about Inter in particular, I'll come to you in a bit, Andrea, because I want to know a little bit more about AC. But over here, if you played in the Premier League, they will talk about you. If you're linked to the Premier League, they'll talk about you. Yeah. No one else will say anything. And what will happen now? Like Nicola Barella, one newspaper will talk about it, and then on TalkSport, be like, "Oh yeah, he's a good player. you know, like.
But he doesn't score enough goals or some shit like that.
No, that's the 14-year-olds. The 14-year-olds.
That's the
14-year-olds in the media confused. But it's like just like Barella. He's one of the most cool, calm, casual midfielders, and he could pick a pass from anywhere and just doesn't look flustered in any way, shape, or form. If he stays in Italy, he's going to stay at Inter. But I personally think he could go and play for any club in world football.
For sure.
What do you guys think of that?
Andrea, I'll let you speak.
Yeah, no, I very agree with him, because Nicolo Barella, you say that he's a little bit mystificated, no, not considered, but in Italy he is, and I think that if he wasn't Italian, but for example Brazilian, Nicolo Barella was a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody would be talking about him in a way different way, in my opinion, as well. Yeah,
I think that as well.
And Andrea, from an AC Milan, Gav, I think you had a question from an AC Milan point of view.
Yeah,
right?
because a player who plays in a similar position, who does get spoken about quite highly, is Tonali, and you know, he was nominated for Golden Boy. The kids bang on about him on FIFA. You know, he came from Brescia, was it? I'm sure is it Brescia?
Yeah, Brescia.
You know, what is he? Because I know what I see, but is he living up to the expectation of what was drawn around his name?
Well, Tonali, for me, has some difficulties to approach a top club, because he performed in the Serie B, Europe Championship, and now he has played.
I know about Serie B. I also know about Serie C and D. I'm a Palermo fan. Carry on.
Oh, okay. No, he also played just 1 year in the Serie A, and now he's in a top club, but it's not easy. He is just 20 years old. So for him is very difficult this year, also because he has two colleagues that are called Benacer and Frankesi that are very, very good. So Tonali for me will appear the next year.
And replacing, I think Benacer was in good form. Replacing him in this key game was kind of a last minute thing. And I think that AC Milan played a decent game, and the result was a little, not excessive, but it was harsh, because when Inter had those two chances, Lukaku, the third goal, that's just talent. Okay. Then the second goal, that's built perfectly from the back. And let's not forget that came... Yeah, when AC Milan were really pushing. Yeah. I think that the goal that won Inter the game was the first one. After 4 or 5 minutes, you score that goal, you take control of the game. I was very unimpressed by Romagnoli. Andrea, I wanted to ask you what you think. Because it's not only this game. Romagnoli this year has been... Kjaer, that we were kind of laughing about last year. Kjaer is coming to AC Milan. But no, he's actually showing way more experience and personality, in my opinion.
Palermo legend, carry on.
Palermo legend, exactly.
Palermo legend, for sure. No, Kjaer was not at his total
best.
At total best, yes, because had some injuries in January, and for me, he is not at the top right now. Also in running, Lautaro Martinez gave him a bread cake yesterday to head cake to Kjaer. And Romagnoli not performed so well, and for me it's his fault to his mistake at the 4th minute that allows Inter to perform in this way.
Yeah, That was a very bad defensive mistake. You've got Lautaro in the middle and nobody really closing down on him, and just easy tap in for him.
Especially
Donnarumma,
at 4th minute.
yeah, and for Donnarumma didn't really move, but that's a difficult one to save. We've got 12 more minutes, I would say. But before we move on to another game, Andrea, I wanted to ask you, and then Gav and Rory as well, do Inter Milan have what it takes to win the Scudetto? Yes or no? Andrea?
Yes, absolutely yes.
I'm touching.
What are you touching? Finish that sentence.
Yeah,
quickly, Tommy,
you send me the beers. I won't pay you cash. I'll pay you Kleenex instead.
Gav,
Twitter will ban you
because there's going to be some more. There's going to be some more happening because I think so as well. Conte's won titles. He knows what to do. His squad's deep. They know how to play. And it would be, the whole football world wants to see another name on it other than Juventus. We know that Inter won Scudettos before, but Inter for me had their opportunity to win some silverware last year, and they lost against serial Europa League winners Sevilla. Fully aware of that, but that would have been what you haven't won a trophy for 10 years.
Yeah, no, 11 years.
11 years. 11 years now. Yeah, it would have been 10 years last year. Yeah, so and even Arsenal been chiming in with the old FA Cup every now and then. Do you know what I mean?
Just keep us ticking over. Keep us ticking over.
Just keep everyone happy in M5. But no, it's important for Inter to win something, and having the despair of last year. I think that is the catalyst to push you forwards. A little bit like we were speaking on our pod yesterday about Leicester. Leicester, they were top 4 all season last year until the last day of the season and came 5th and screwed it for them. They're not going to allow that to happen again. And I think that, I honestly think that Conte will not even begin to allow that to happen again this year.
We'll see. Rory, what do you think before we move on to the next Serie A fixtures?
Yeah, I absolutely think...
and you went to mute.
I absolutely think it's Inter's to they're in the driving seat now. It's just having only been in Milan for 4 years, even I have seen Inter things up quite a few times. So I'm not saying anything until it's officially done because they do know how to absolutely shag it. So
they know how to Spurs it up, and they've got an ex-Spurs player there, which is great.
Yeah. No. Oh my God. Man. Okay.
That is the only thing. We can leave it there, Tommy. We don't want to jinx it.
Enough Inter Milan. There were 3 other teams that I want to talk about with Andre before we quickly preview the Champions League. Atalanta Napoli. You were actually broadcasting the game, Andrea, live on Twitch, correct?
Yes, I commented the match between Atalanta and Napoli, ended 4-2 in favor of the Bergamaschi, and the brightest star was once again Luis Muriel, a fantastic player that I personally...
Fantasy football legend.
Water's wet, grass is green. Had a great game.
Those emotions you get when a beautiful woman looks at you and smiles. Well, Muriel makes me feel those vibes. When I see him playing,
what an analogy! Fantastic.
Man, Andrea, doesn't Muriel some moves? But this was very old when he
Ronaldo.
played. When he played at Udinese, everybody said he's the new Ronaldo phenomenon because the way he moves his body and the way he dribbles and the way he shoots. I don't know. He has it. Sometimes he has that spark, and it's incredible. His stats in Serie A this year are ridiculous.
Right foot, left. Exceptional technique, speed, dribbling, lucidity in choices, awareness of his skills, because right now he's currently for sure one of the best strikers in circulation, without a doubt, for me.
Yeah,
absolutely. I really love Muriel. On average, Muriel scores a goal every 53 or 54 minutes.
That's ridiculous.
He scored 14 goals in this league. These are incredible numbers. I believe that the Colombian has finally found his dimension at Atalanta, and that Gasperini has found the right balance to allow him express at his best,
Yeah.
at his